This is part 2 of reading the entire Catholic Bible. We are at Genesis chapter 3. Glass is already on. Let's begin. Expulsion from Eden. Now the snake was the most cunning of all the wild animals that the Lord God had made. He asked the woman, "Did God really say you shall not eat from any of the trees in the garden?" The woman answered the snake, "We may eat of the fruit of the trees in the garden. It is only about the fruit of the tree in the middle of the garden that God said, 'You shall not eat it or even touch it, or else you will die.'" But the snake said to the woman, "You will certainly not die. God knows well that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened and you will be like gods, who know good and evil." The woman saw that the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eyes, and the tree was desirable for gaining wisdom. So she took some of its fruit and ate it. She also gave some to her husband, who was with her, and he ate it. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they knew that they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made loincloths for themselves. When they heard the sound of the Lord God walking about in the garden at the breezy time of the day, the man and his wife hid themselves from the Lord God among the trees of the garden. The Lord God then called to the man and asked him, "Where are you?" He answered, "I heard you in the garden, but I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." Then God asked, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree of which I had forbidden you to eat?" The man replied, "The woman whom you put here with me." Oh, let's see, where was I? Sometimes you get a little lost, you know? I'm still trying to get used to this. Where's 13 at? Oh, there it is. Bruh. The man replied, "The woman whom you put here with me, she gave me the fruit from the tree, so I ate it." The Lord God then asked the woman, "What is this you have done?" The woman answered, "The snake tricked me, so I ate it." Then the Lord God said to the snake, "Because you have done this, cursed are you among all the animals, tame or wild. On your belly you shall crawl, and dust you shall eat all the days of your life. I will put the enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers, and then you will strike at your hand. They will strike at your hand, and you strike at their heel." To the woman he said, "I will intensify your toil in childbearing. In pain you shall bring forth children. Yet your urge shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you." To the man he said, "Because you listened to your wife and ate from the tree about which I commanded you, you shall not eat from it. Cursed is the ground because of you. In toil you shall eat its yield all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles it shall bear for you. And you shall eat the grass of the field. By the sweat of your brow you shall eat bread until you return to the ground from which you were taken. For you are dust, and to dust you shall return." The man gave his wife the name Eve, because she was the mother of all the living. The Lord God made for the man and his wife garments of skin, with which he clothed them. Then the Lord God said, "See, the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. Now what if he also reaches out his hand to take the fruit from the tree of life, and eats of it and lives forever?" The Lord God therefore banished him from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from which he had been taken. He expelled the man, stationing the cherubim and the fiery revolving sword east of the Garden of Eden to guard the way of the tree of life. Chapter 4. Cain and Abel. The man had intercourse with his wife Eve, and she conceived and gave birth to Cain, saying, "I have produced a male child with the help of the Lord." Next she gave birth to his brother Abel. Abel became a herder of flocks, and Cain a tiller of the ground. In the course of time, Cain brought an offering to the Lord from the fruit of the ground, while Abel, for his part, brought the fatty portion of the firstlings of his flock. The Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but on Cain and his offering he did not look with favor. So Cain was very angry and dejected. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry? Why are you dejected? If you act rightly, you will be accepted, but if not, sin lies in wait at the door. Its urge is for you, yet you can rule over it." Cain said to his brother Abel, "Let us go out in the field." When they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. Then the Lord asked Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" He answered, I lost my place again. Oh, I didn't have to turn the page yet, that's fine. I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? Then God said, What have you done? Your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Now you are banned from the ground, that opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. If you till the ground, it shall no longer give you its produce. Now we turn the page. You shall become a constant wanderer of the earth, Cain said to the Lord. My punishment is too great to bear. Look, you have now banished me from the ground. I must avoid you and be a constant wanderer on the earth. Anyone may kill me at sight. Not so, the Lord said to him. If anyone kills Cain, Cain shall be avenged 7 times. So the Lord put a mark on Cain, so that no one would kill him at sight. Cain then left the Lord's presence and settled in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Descendants of Cain and Seth. Cain had intercourse with his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch. Cain also became the founder of a city, and he named after his son Enoch. To Enoch was born Irad, and Irad became the father of Mahuel, and Mahuel became the father of Methuselah, and Methuselah became the father of Lamech. Lamech took 2 wives. The name of the first was Adah, and the name of the second Zillah. Adah gave birth to Jabal, who became the ancestor of those who dwell in tents and keep livestock. His brother's name was Jabal, who became the ancestor of all who play the lyre. I think that's that instrument is a lyre or lyre, and the reed pipe. Zillah, on her part, gave birth to Tubal-Cain, or Tubal-Cain, I don't know, and the ancestor of all who forged instruments of bronze and iron. The sister of Tubal-Cain in Naamah, Lamech, said to his wives, Adah and Zillah, hear my voice, wives of Lamech, listen to my utterance. I have killed a man for wounding me, a young man for bruising me. If Cain is avenged 7 times, then Lamech 27 times. Adam again had intercourse with his wife, and she gave birth to a son whom she called Seth. God has granted me another offspring in the place of Abel, she said. Because Cain killed him, to Seth in turn a son was born, and he named him Enosh. At that time, people began to invoke the Lord by name. Chapter 5. Generations, Adam to Noah. This is the record of the descendants of Adam. When God created human beings, he made them in the likeness of God. He created them male and female. When they were created, he blessed them and named them humankind. Adam was 130 years old when he begot a son in his likeness, after his image, and he named him Seth. Adam lived 800 years after he begot Seth, and had other sons and daughters. The whole lifetime of Adam was 930 years, then he died. When Seth was 105 years old, he begot Enosh. Seth lived 807 years after he begot Enosh, and he had other sons and daughters. The whole lifetime of Seth was 912 years, then he died. When Enosh was 90 years old, he began Canaan. Enosh lived 815 years after he begot Canaan, and he had other sons and daughters. The whole lifetime of Enosh was 905 years, then he died. When Canaan was 70 years old, he begot Mahalalel. Canaan lived 840 years after he begot Mahalalel. That is a lot of L's. Canaan lived 840 years after he begot Mahalalel, and he had other sons and daughters. The whole lifetime of Canaan was 910 years, and then he died. When Mahalalel, I had to read it carefully there, make sure I got all those L's. Mahalalel was 65 years old, he begot Jared. Mahalalel lived 830 years after he begot Jared, and he had other sons and daughters. The whole lifetime of Mahalalel was 895 years, then he died. When Jared was 162 years old, he begot Enoch. Jared lived 800 years after he begot Enoch, and he had other sons and daughters. The whole lifetime of Jared was 962 years, then he died. When Enoch was 65 years old, he begot Methuselah. Enoch walked with God after he begot Methuselah for 300 years. He had other sons and daughters. The whole lifetime of Enoch was 365 years. Enoch walked with God, and he was no longer here, for God took him. When Methuselah was 187 years old, he begot Lamech. Methuselah lived 782 years after he begot Lamech. He had other sons and daughters. The whole lifetime of Methuselah was 969 years, then he died. When Lamech was 182 years old, he begot a son and named him Noah, saying, "This one shall bring us relief from our work and the toil of our hands, out of the very ground that the Lord has put under a curse." Lamech lived 595 years after he begot Noah. He had other sons and daughters. The whole lifetime of Lamech was 777 years. Then he died. When Noah was 500 years old, he begot Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And I think we will stop there at the beginning of chapter 6. And that is where we will come back next time. My glasses almost fell into frame. I'm on page 14. I'm remembering that because I don't have a bookmark. What's so interesting about Enoch is he didn't die. He was taken up to heaven by God, which is only 3 other people in the Bible, or 2 other people in the Bible, 3 in total. Enoch, Elijah, and Mother Mary. Pretty good progress so far. I hope to have like one big video if my phone could handle it, where I do like just more than 3 chapters. When this first started, I was like, let's do a video 3 hours long, and then I'll do like a whole book in one video, but I don't know if my phone can handle that. So good stuff so far. I'll see you next time.